And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ignore All episode of the podcast. This podcast is in alpha and maybe subject to change. So, joining me today, we have Tef with his lovely face reveal. The first time you've ever seen Tef live on the stream.
Hello.
Beautiful. Well, welcome, Tef. And then we also have
Hello.
Ziff, who you all know from the stream.
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to have an intro as fantastic as Tef's, but hello.
Hey.
It is I.
It is I. So, this podcast is going to be...
Try.
It's going to be like a more... It's going to be more of a show, so we're not going to be talking directly to chat via voice, though we will talk in chat. We'll type in there every now and then when we're not having a conversation to sort of keep the flow of the show going. But how we're going to start the show off is, well, I could open the mysterious package that I got that may or may not explode.
Do it.
I believe it's Angels, though, so we're going to wait for Angels to join chat at some point, and then we can try and throw that in there somehow.
I just can't wait to see you jibbed live on air.
It's either that or Anthrax. And again, not the band merch. I'd be happy with band merch, but it's probably just going to kill me. Let's be honest. And hopefully the McDonald's Cup is not in view. We'll see. But yeah.
I hope it is.
So,
it's not? Oh, that's depressing.
Is it not? Perfect. All right.
No.
But you've confirmed
Job
it's
done.
there now by saying hopefully it's not in view.
You have.
There is no McDonald's
So for those
Cup.
of you who are in the UK, yes, that's right. There is a McDonald's Cup. And no,
there is no McDonald's
you're not thinking
Cup.
wrong. McDonald's has been shut for 6 weeks, but there is a McDonald's Cup in his room.
I have no idea what you mean. No idea what you mean at all. But anyway, we'll get on with the show. So how we're gonna start is we'll start by talking about what we've been playing this week. So would anyone like to volunteer to go first and talk about what they've played recently?
Well,
No,
I
just
can go
silence.
first.
Okay, Ziff would like to go first.
I mean, I've been playing nothing new. I don't really play new stuff, but I've mainly just been playing a lot of Odyssey for the most part. Odyssey and Space Engineers, for why not? That's pretty much all I've been playing. Mainly because Valhalla was announced and stuff, and I was like, well, time to actually play Odyssey and get it finished. I had about 80 hours in the game. Still nowhere near finished, but now I've finally finished the main story. And it's pretty good. It was okay. There was some things like, well, that's a bit stupid, but for the most part, it's okay. And now I'm just doing the DLC. That's pretty much the main thing I've been doing.
We could definitely talk about Valhalla as well. I don't know a ton about it. I've looked into it a little bit, but I'm sure, as resident, I play all the Assassin's Creed constantly. We could definitely talk about that quite a bit, and I know there's something else you want to talk about that's kind of related to Assassin's Creed in a way.
It's true.
So we could get into that. What about yourself, Tef? Anything interesting? Anything fun?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing because the whole world is still playing a lot of Animal Crossing. But I'm only really playing it because Crazy Red's out now, and I've still not seen him. Like, he's just not appearing in my town, and I've played every day for 2 weeks, and every other character who you can just stroll on through your town has come through. All of them, even the camel who sells your rugs, she's been through. She's been through twice, actually.
Did you
no
get
Crazy Red?
Did you get a nice rug?
No, I got shit rug. I mean, sorry, Marvin Channel 4, please do not swear.
Yeah,
I got a sarcastic rug. No, Babby's watching. No, and I'm not happy because every time I go to the museum with a fossil, Blathers goes, this is nice, but I'm eagerly awaiting art donations. Well, so am I, Blathers. So am I. No sign of him. So, yeah, and besides that...
You're going to get a fake anyway, let's be honest. It'll be all fakes.
Shut up! Imagine if, like, all of them were fake. I'd cry. I'd probably just beat Crazy Red into a pulp and then throw me Animal Crossing out the window. So, I mean, besides
sure
that,
wanted,
I'm like...
so, you could probably get a good bounty for his head.
That's true, actually. I should lasso him and drag him into the town hall like Red Dead.
Drag him over to Tom Nook. Tom Nook will just take him away. With Sheriff by John.
Tom Nook's just like, excellent. Meat for the island.
There's definitely some cult stuff going on with Tom Nook. He's got like just a cult of animals, and they all just sacrifice one. Every animal that you send away. Tom Nook deals with. He takes down to his little ritual circle with the rest of the islanders, and they have a good time. They have a feast down there. But yeah, anything else?
I mean, well, besides what I've been playing on stream with you, which is obviously loads of Halo. I've been playing a bit of Halo 2 as well, a little bit. But like Halo's great, and a little bit of Shadow of the Colossus, the PS4 remake.
Shadow of the Colossus is really good.
Fantastic game.
I could talk about Shadow of the Colossus all day. Let's be honest. We all know.
Yeah, I was debating whether to bring it up
because I mean, Shadow of the Colossus. That's still one of my favorite games, probably. I mean, the third boss fight, the fourth, all the boss fight. You know what I'm talking about? Like the sword guy. I forgot what his name is. They're all great. Let's be honest. But no, I mean, especially like the bear. Colossus is one of my favorite. The music on that as well.
Flying one.
I think that's the. Is that the
I think it's called
5th or the 6th?
I think it's called Phaedra. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but God, that's such a good fight. It just feels. I don't know. There's something about the whole scenario, where the feeling you get when you're on the back of the bed and it's flying all over the place, and the momentum of it, you can feel. And then the music's playing. That kind of sounds a little like it's out of a James Bond film at certain points. I think I spoke to Ziff about this at one point, but it does sound at one very specific point like it's from a James Bond film, and I was like, I know that little part, that one part, it was definitely in a James Bond film, and I feel like
we did find the song.
We did find it, because I remember spending ages looking for it and being like, there it is. I knew it all along. You can't fool me. Name of guy that made game. I don't know how to pronounce
that made
name.
game. Oh my god, I've completely forgotten it anyway. Ueda. Fumito Ueda.
Okay. You as a, you both know Japanese. Well, I mean, we kind of all know Japanese to a degree now, don't we? Because I've been learning Japanese. So.
We're all just massive weebs like that.
I mean, I'm not the one with a collection of anime figurines, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
This is the one thing I own.
I don't know whether I'm talking to Ziff or Tef at this point. I don't know if Ziff's got any. I imagine he's got like a whole collection just to like the side. He just turns his camera and it's all there.
There's like a giant anime breast just out of view on the camera.
Oh no, that's he's got one of those the mouse pads.
Yeah.
I don't get those things. I don't know. I hope that's not what's in the box, okay?
Oh, I hope it is what's in the box.
Oh no,
really
is that what they've sent me? Is it gonna be for my wrist? Oh no. Okay, well, we'll find out later on the show, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I could talk about what I've been playing, because I kind of missed indie game nights because stuff happened. But I've been playing a lot of cool indie games.
Stuff happened.
Stuff happened. It was a busy day. Listen, I'm a busy man. A lot of stuff happens with my day, and sometimes I just pass out.
You slept for like 16 hours. That's not busy.
Well, I mean, you say that, but I sleep like 3 hours on the other nights, so I'm just catching up. That's how that works. But
what were you playing?
Arcade. I can talk about Arcade.
Oh no.
There's a new update coming out. It's a whole expansion to Arcade, and I'm excited. Listen, as if you gotta get back in on it. That's all I'm saying. There's an event on right now. You can get a free Shiba Inu. It's great. It's all good stuff.
Can't argue with that.
But you can basically become a god in the next area. I think I showed you guys the GIF. Mm-hmm. But there's just
very awful GIF. Yeah.
I didn't have a fast one, but there's just this massive like 500-meter radius that would just wipes a raid from the looks of things, and I want it. So, Amigo Games, please, just if you want to just hit me up and make me a god, send some god powers my way. I'd appreciate it. But other than that, I've been playing a lot of indie games. Like, I think one that I think you really liked, Tef, was Encodia. Ziff was there for that stream, the point and click we did, which is like a futuristic sort of. I think it's set in Neo Berlin. I think it was Neo Berlin. Yeah, but it was really cool. what did it say? It when I was looking through it said it was like Monkey Island and what else did it say? It was like
I see it.
Did you see
Miyazaki.
it? Yeah, and some stuff.
Oh,
he'd
it does
made.
look a bit like Miyazaki. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, well,
Yeah, I
we've got to
found
put this
it.
to the
Looks cool.
test, and it was actually really cool. It was
You'd really like it, Tev.
Yeah, you would really like it. It's
Look good.
very,
It was
very
really,
old
really
school point and click. It's got that sort of thing, and you can switch between like the two characters. There's like this big robot character, and then you play as this small girl child. And I think like each child is like assigned a robot, a bear or something. It's really interesting. That's
It's
definitely
cool. It is being described. It's being described as Studio Ghibli crossed with Blade Runner, which is that's combo.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun one. I enjoyed it from what it was. There was the one you had to capture a criminal at one point who, I mean, you could tell from his stash he was a criminal right away. You walk in there and you're just like, yep, he's a bad guy.
You never trust
Fantastic
anyone
stash.
with a mustache.
Yeah. Especially when it's like, it's moving on its own and it's like this long and curled. The curl is what does it. You know?
Yeah, the curl is like,
That's how
a
you
bad
know he's
sign.
like, meh,
Red
I'm
flag.
definitely the villain. Wah.
He twirls it.
But yeah, that was one that I played that was really interesting. We had another one that night that was really interesting, but I don't remember the name of it. It was like a one button thing, and it kind of gave me like Inside and Limbo vibes, but it was like set underwater, and I think it was
You're freeing the turtles.
yeah, you were freeing like the tails and stuff, but it was basically like this. It had like a underwater corporation thing going on, and I think the message was, you know, don't dump into the ocean, pretty much. And it had the, but you know, you got chased by like people in business suits, but they were also wearing diving helmets, so it was kind of. That's clearly what they were going for, but it was really interesting as well. I will have to look up the name of that afterwards, but that was a fun one. I had quite a few fun ones. We had like Atma we played the week before as well, which is very short, but it was it had like a really interesting system where you switched powers and you sort of you drew on the to like between enemies and connected them and had a bunch of puzzles and different abilities you get, but it was really short, unfortunately. So I was hoping to see a bit more from that. But
What was it called?
Atma, so ATMA. It was really interesting. The biggest issue I had with it was short and the dialogue in places was a bit scuffed, to say the least. Yeah.
It looks gorgeous. Wow, that's a nice art style.
It's a really nice looking game. Like, I would like a poster. Put a poster of that up. I'll buy it. I'm down for that. Throw that up on my wall next to like Transistor or something. I don't know if it's on the level of Transistor, but it's
Transistor as well.
It's got a really nice art style. I mean, Transistor's my I think it's my Steam profile background, because the art in that game was just real good. But yeah, other than that, we played a bit of Angel of Darkness as well. If you want to talk about that briefly, do you want to talk about the experience?
We didn't really talk about that because we were so blindsided by the ending and just how weird it all was, and how badly written it all was, and all the questions. And you needed to know the answer to all the questions.
I need to know. You know, it was very abrupt, and I was like, it kind of hints that Cat is still alive at the end. So is whatever his magic blade, you know, shuriken thing was. Yeah, Curtis.
Oh, whatever that was. Yeah. So just for Ziff and for people who didn't see it, like, the game just ends in the strangest way, where you kill the big bad guy who you've been chasing throughout the whole game, and like, well, you know, Laura's got him like on the ground, like about to kill him, and then some other guy shows up and kills him instead, and this guy is like never been seen before, but Lara talks to him as if she knows him, and she like says. She calls him by name, and we've never seen him before. And he goes, "Ah, yes," and then he starts shape shifting into like every other character in the game. And the big twist is that this guy, who you're supposed to know but hasn't been introduced, was leading you through the whole game, and he was playing all of the supporting characters to lead Lara up to this point, which is like a cool twist. But who is he?
He was definitely the lady of the night as well. He was the one who was like, "Move along, Sherry."
He
was definitely here.
but the thing that broke Zan's head though was that at one point he shapeshifts into Curtis, who is the guy you play as for a few levels. So it doesn't say it, but it implies that Curtis isn't even a real person. Like,
Whoa.
he might have just been the shapeshifter the whole time. And they're like, we played as him and we didn't know that. And it just dumps that on you, and then it just ends because, partially because the game was unfinished, but also because they were expected to be making 2 more in a trilogy.
Yeah, it was
So it
supposed to
just
be a full
ends with all those
trilogy.
questions.
But like, they do imply that Curtis is still alive with the thing glowing and pointing in a certain direction. But the last scene you have with Curtis before that is you do the boss fight, and I think you finish the boss and you're like, got him. And then the boss, he turns around, the boss also stabs him, but he finishes the boss off afterwards. And then the last scene is him sort of looking at himself with a hole in his chest and sort of bleeding. And then it cuts to Lara being like, I'm going to escape now. I've decided to move. Because she gets trapped, doesn't she, before that? Oh, no, she gets out before that, doesn't she? Because Curtis throws her the things, the shards or whatever. So we don't know if Curtis dies.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think...
I don't know if Curtis is definitely even a person.
Yeah, we don't really know. But, I mean, I was also looking at the end and... Go on, Ziff.
I was going to say, is this... I can't remember the games. Is this like one of the last ones before the studio who was making them, whatever happened to them, or before they started making reboots?
So this is before Legend and stuff, when...
It's the last original Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
But it was a little different to the original games.
Yeah.
It was
so
ambitious.
I actually... it was very ambitious. I read up on it a bit after we played it, just to kind of like understand the background of it a bit more. And basically what happened is they were already making it when games like Shenmue started coming out, and the action adventure genre sort of totally changed.
That would make a lot of sense with like Shenmue coming out.
So because you can see the Shenmue influence, can't you? Definitely. So the higher ups in core design started adding in all these features, and it had really bad feature creep. And obviously it was getting bigger and bigger, and the project was getting longer, until eventually Eidos, who were publishing it, were just like, no, we need to release it now. And they gave them such short notice that they didn't even really have time to clean up the game. So they literally just had to cut what wasn't finished and release it like that, which is why characters are missing or like show up when it's implied that they've been introduced before. Like, every scene where that shapeshifter guy shows up was cut from the game, except for the final scene, obviously, because he's kind of integral to the ending. So he just shows up out of nowhere. And yet it was, as you probably know, it was so bad that core design got shut down. And that's why Crystal Dynamics now do Tomb Raider.
It's kind of sad though, because I see the potential in it when I played through it. I was like, this could have been so good. And also the Shenmue, it makes a lot of sense. Like, if that came out and then they saw that come out and be like, oh, we're gonna have something like this in the game, and then they're like, oh, this Paris section, let's just make this more. Let's throw a bunch in here and have NPCs you can interact with.
Yeah, like branching dialogue and all that. It does reek of Shenmue, and it does it does have so much potential because it really does shine in places, and you can see that it would have been a really good game if they'd had the time. Like, in a lot of ways, it reminds me of Sonic 06, except if Sonic 06 had had the time it needed to be finished, it still would have been a fairly bad game, because it would have probably just been like Sonic Adventure, which is okay, but not like an amazing game. But Angel of Darkness, I think, would have actually been possibly even like an all-time classic, but it would have taken them like 4 years to make.
Like, it feels like they were so close to being able to make something really good if they just had like the time for it. If they would have, if the last boss fight would have been in some way interesting.
God, it was awful.
To be fair, the very last boss fight was just a platforming thing, which a lot of Tomb Raider games have done before anyway. I think 4 did that. But, like, the part before that, you just sort of lie on the floor and just let the boss shoot at you until he's done shooting at you, and then you stand up and punch him, and that's it.
You punch an old man. That's the final boss.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's good times. But yeah, that was Angel of Darkness. It was an experience. We did look up like what happened after Angel of Darkness as well, because I was going on about the whole Lara being found by, or like what happened before it, and I was talking about the whole thing how apparently there's a book where Laura is found by some shaman and brought into some village.
Yeah, because they have to quickly explain why she was alive, because she died at the end of 4, and like they have her funeral in 5, and then she's just back in 6 with no explanation. So apparently there's a book that explains it. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know. Like, I didn't know the book existed. Apparently I just had this information somehow, and I don't know how, but I knew it. So it was interesting. It was a whole all around an interesting experience, to say the least. Especially the boxing ring and the night. We had a lot of fun in that nightclub. It was.
Oh yeah, I mean, we spent far too much time in that nightclub because we were awful at the platforming in it, but it was great fun.
It wasn't even that. We forgot that we didn't realize there was like a key all the way up at the top. We missed somehow or something, wasn't it? It was something like that we missed, so we couldn't get out.
That and we kept screwing up on the rafters.
True, but we don't need to talk about that part.
And the boxing ring was not good. Why did you bring up the boxing ring? Because the boxing ring caused the game to crash.
Yeah, like I said, it was a great time. We got to match on the two guys.
Yeah, and then you could watch them not fight as the game soft locked, and they just stood there going. I managed to do that, by the way, while Zan wasn't even on the stream, so I just had to kind of sit there and wait for him to come back so he could close the game and reopen it because it was running on his computer.
Yeah, I was like, it'll be fine. I'll just let you do this jumping section. There's probably nothing that interesting over there anyway. I'll go make a cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute. And then I come back and it's just the boxing ring. And I'm like, okay, well.
I'm remote into his computer, and the two key commands I don't have are Alt F4 and Control Alt Delete. So I just.
It was a good time. It was really fun. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've actually played recently. Arcade Shack, but I'm sure people don't want me going on about Arcade more.
I feel like we should ban Arcade from this section of the podcast because you're always playing Arcade. It's kind of your job to play Arcade.
Do we need to ban it? Like, I don't think we need to ban it, Like,
Tef, is this the only classic Tomb Raider you hadn't played?
Well, I mean, I haven't finished all of them, but it's definitely the one I played the least of.
Fair enough.
Because I got it on launch when it came out. When we were like 6 when it came out, but I got it on launch. I was so hyped, and then I played it for like an hour and shoved it on a shelf and never really touched it again. I actually bought it again. I've got it on a shelf right over there on PS2. I bought it for 75 pence.
It stayed on the shelf ever since.
It stayed on the shelf. I couldn't bring myself to play it.
Surprisingly, I remembered a lot about that game as if I think I might have played the whole thing.
I think you did, because you remembered everything. You remembered everything.
Yeah, I remembered, like, the real final... Do we call it the real final boss? It's like Curtis's fight, and it's the only thing that feels like an actual boss. I remembered that fight for some reason. Like, I went deep in that game, apparently. I don't know how. I don't know how I got that deep.
Too deep. Too deep.
I dug too deep, and that was it. Look at me now. Anyway,
changed, man.
I've seen some things. I've seen a lot of things, okay. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I've been playing this week, and I guess we could move on to the news if we want to talk about some of the topics that we got.
The news.
The gaming news, yes.
Topical.
So, should we start off with the fun ones? So,
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what you mean by those ones, but go right ahead.
So I heard that Mojang has changed its name.
This one shook me to my core. Oh.
I was like, Mojang changed their name? What? What could they possibly change it to?
Well, tell the world. What's their new name?
They're now called Mojang Studios. I know. It's massive. Gaming news.
I didn't mean to inhale my mic then, so apologies for that.
That's fine. But that's not interesting at all. But that's in the news. So that's what we'll start off with. That's what we'll lead with, I guess. Other than that, there's been a lot of talk about the PlayStation 5 being better than a high-end gaming PC, according to Epic Games.
Oh man.
Tons of Epic Games.
So I follow the PC Master Race subreddit because I'm just some sort of masochist, I suppose. It's just the cringiest place in the world, and it's just been full of memes about this, like, constantly. And
Yeah.
I can kind of see it from both sides though, because if you've watched Mark Kearney's video about the PS5 and like the technology under it, which I don't know, you probably haven't, Zan,
I've
because
not.
you don't really get into these technological deep dives because you're not a massive nerd.
Well, I mean,
You're
this
just
is
like
why
a
I do the podcast
mid-tier
now.
nerd.
I'm doing the podcast now because I can deep dive now and actually get into the gaming news more, because I feel like I've been out of the loop for a little while, and now I get to do it
That's a
live.
reason I wanted to be here as well, because I'm never in the news about games.
Yeah.
Well, like that video that Mark Kearney did, and the way he talks about the SSD and the processor in the PlayStation, it does have certain things that I've not heard of before. Now, to be fair, I was kind of out of the PC gaming sphere for a while, so maybe it's a thing on high ends that I just don't know about. But he was talking about a lot of technology that seemed to be at least the sort of thing that the PlayStation could do. Because consoles kind of have that like, in a way, they're sort of better drivers because they're so closely interconnected, all the parts, aren't they? And I'm sure,
Yeah.
like, as soon as the PS5s come out, all of the the G-Forces will just have better drivers anyway, and they'll all be able to do that. But some of the things he was saying did sound really impressive, but
Yeah.
it's not going to make as much of a big difference as as Epic Games are saying it will.
Yeah, I mean, the consoles do have the advantage of having the hardware be very closely tied to the software and the drivers, unlike PC rigs there's a wide variety and parts are gonna differ. You're gonna have
and it's
stuff like that.
And it's gonna have that thing that happens every generation anyway, where now PC games are getting bottlenecked by how underpowered the consoles are. So when they jump forward, PCs will just jump forward as well, but they'll jump forward further. So yeah, because like what Kenny was talking about, things like with like an NVMe SSD, they'll be able to literally, as you're turning, load in the level as you turn. Like, it can just stream things as quickly as it needs to and load and unload things from memory that quickly. It doesn't even really need to use RAM because the SSD is just as fast as RAM at this point. And he was talking about things like that, and that does sound really, really cool. But PCs already have NVMe SSDs, so I'm sure they'll be doing it as soon as the consoles are doing it. They probably just
now, at least.
Yeah, I'm sure the only reason then PC games aren't doing it now is just because they wouldn't be able to put that technology into the consoles. It's the consoles bottlenecking them, isn't it? So,
I mean, again, like you said, it always happens, and we're going to see a massive just increase in what PCs can do, which is what I'm excited about. And my PC is not, because my PC is falling apart, and I don't want to talk about it.
I picked a dreadful time to buy a PC, really, didn't I? I made the classic mistake of buying one at the end of a console generation.
I mean, when did you buy it as well? Like, when was it? Was it during the situation that's going on in the world right now that I don't want to say? We're already dating the podcast in a way. It's fine.
It was January.
Okay,
so it was just before. Like, yeah. I think if it happened during the lockdown, I would have probably built an actual desktop, even though I don't have any room for it, just for something to do.
Yeah.
But I was a busy man at the time. I was like, I don't have time for that, and just bought like a laptop. So I'm a gaming laptop noob.
Hey, I mean, I don't think you've regretted that. Being able to play the Halo. That's what it's all about.
It's still better spec than your computer, which is about 8 years old. So
someone just play some stuff and discover this.
Moment of silence.
Yeah, just F's in the chat, please. But yeah, I think that's all we really need to say about that, because consoles are never gonna be better than PCs. PCs are always gonna just, the second consoles decide we're gonna be slightly better, PCs are just gonna jump back. I mean, it was back in the day. There was a time where consoles were better to have than PCs, but this was like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's funny to think that, isn't it? But that's literally only because PCs didn't have hardware acceleration.
Yeah,
that was it. As soon as that was the thing, it was just Unreal happened. Which segues
Speaking of
nicely
Unreal.
into the next.
I like what you did there. So, should we talk a little bit about Unreal Engine 5 then?
Whoa.
Oh, the triangles. How many triangles?
So many triangles.
Triangles.
The triangles, Mason. What do they mean?
Oh wow. It's like
go on.
Well, I kind of spoiled for you guys what I really think, but it doesn't look any nicer because we can't make graphics look any nicer now. But it's really interesting to look into the tech, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get me?
I mean, I do think there's like, you can sort of tell, there is like a difference. It's there. Obviously, it's not as significant a leap as it's been in the past, but it's definitely there. You see it and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, you learn about how many billions of triangles are in it, and it's like, whoa, you can fit that many triangles in that one small rock? Whoa. Oh my. But yeah.
I do think what's...
Go on.
Sorry. I think like what's so interesting to me is the fact that we don't have to cheat anymore. Like, the graphics don't look that much nicer yet, but at least now when you look at a cave wall and it's got all the bits of rock jutted out like in that demo, all the rocks are actually there and there's no bump maps. Like, that's really cool. Even though it's not visually that different, it's cool to know that we're not using those cheats that we had to use for so long. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to take stuff to another level. I mean, like, this is a stepping stone on hopefully what we see after this is going to, it'll be real life. It'll just look like real life. Oh boy. I mean, I feel like, I don't know how gaming can... Go on, I was going to say, I don't know how gaming can take another leap from, like... Because we've had, like, PS1 graphics, PS2. I feel like VR would have to be the next leap where it's like, whoa, this is something really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can graphically get to a point, because it comes down to, like, art style and stuff as well. And visually how it looks. Go on, Ziff, what are you going to say?
I will jump off the VR. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of VR games that they don't look as good because their VR is pretty demanding. But to be fair, with Half-Life Alyx being out recently, that's quite a jump for VR already.
Yeah.
In what it can be used for, because that looks very good, both mechanically and graphically.
I think that's the only game worth getting for a VR at this point. It looks like that's like
pretty much
a console seller
in
VR.
Yeah. The only other games, it's like if you already have them, like Skyrim, No Man's Sky, etc. Like, you don't buy VR for them. It's just, I happen to have them.
Yeah, so I can kind of just play them if I want. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, just with graphics, it's like, it's just hitting such a peak now for me. It's not like, oh, it looks a bit sharper. It's more just what the actual engine can do in like tiny little animation details, like the tiny rocks that were falling down the side.
Oh yeah, that was like a ooh moment.
Yeah, because it's like with Odyssey. I was looking at recently. Odyssey's just fidelity and the level of detail is insane. But it's more just those tiny details, like even just tree animations. I know a lot of games have done more tree and wind physics recently. It actually looked like Ghost of Tsushima was doing that a lot as well.
That grass.
So it's more just for me now. It's those small details rather than things just look so good now. I just more look to those tiny things like blowing trees and all sorts like that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like, kudos to Assassin's Creed. I think the main reason why that demo didn't blow me away is because although the lighting looked really, really good, the lighting already looks that nice on my weak-ass PS4 playing Assassin's Creed Origins, because Ubisoft have really nailed lighting in the last couple of years. So kudos to them. Like, they nailed it before it was cool.
Yeah, I think the thing to think about is like the expense of making games like this now, and like how much time has actually got to go into the billions of triangles. And like, I feel like this is gonna definitely up the expenses of games, and it's gonna become I don't know, it's gonna be interesting to see how games are developed, because already games are developed for like costs that they really shouldn't be, and then they need microtransactions or expansions or DLCs to actually sort of make up for the cost of making a game. And I feel like as the technology gets, more and more advanced, it's going to take even more, I'd imagine. It's an interesting thing.
I think we're going to start seeing... I think we're going to start seeing like a lot more shared assets and shared frameworks and things like that to ease it, which Ubisoft's already been doing for a generation in a way.
Yeah,
but I think
you
we can
just
expect
have to
that.
master that.
And like, to be fair, we're getting to the point now where the graphics are so good, we can't be that far away from just using the technology that big Hollywood studios like Pixar have already created. Because we're getting to the point now where we can render, the film level graphics at 60 frames per second. Just use that technology.
8K resolution as well. Don't forget the 8K resolution.
Oh, I still got a 1080p screen.
Yeah, I still have a 1080p screen. I'm not upgrading to like not even 2K for a while. Be a while before I get any close to that. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to look at the Unreal Engine and just see how the technology is advancing.
Let's go. Oh.
That'll be the thumbnail right there. You doing that face.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could also talk about Ubisoft suing Apple and Google over like a Rainbow Six Siege sort of mobile knockoff, but I don't know how interesting that is. I feel like the mobile market's always been a wild west.
I didn't really even hear about that news, to be honest. I'm out.
But yeah, it's just a clone of Rainbow Six Siege pretty much, and Ubisoft have just decided, you know what, we're just gonna sue Apple and Google because they're responsible for having it on their stores. So it'll be an interesting sort of. I mean, I don't know if it'll like set a precedent for mobile clones and stuff. I feel like there's been battles like this before, though. I feel like maybe Google and Apple might sort of actually start to take it seriously if more people start suing. But also, Google and Apple probably are like, here you go, have some money for it. We don't care. We got like tons in the bank. Let's not even worry about this.
No, for all the money that Ubisoft's got, it's probably about 10% of what Apple and Google have.
Yeah. So maybe they'll take it a bit like clones and stuff a bit more seriously. I feel like they have in the past, but it's still just a wild west of clones and just it's all like the amount of mobile games that look exactly the same or look like old like Flash games from years back that have just been like thrown up. And they aren't even owned by the people who made the Flash games,
Just want to point something out real quick. Ubisoft has a Assassin's Creed game on mobile that is, well, half of its entire gameplay is literally Fallout Shelter. So, they also like copying people.
I think
Steam just wades in now about, what about this Uplay? What's this Upay I've heard of? Looks like Steam.
I feel like the issue is when it's like
Ubisoft
the exact same thing.
What if the studios start suing each other? What if the Assassin's Creed studio starts going after the Watch Dogs studio, which goes after the Far Cry studio? Where does it end? I feel
like that's a bit of a far cry from reality. I saw that face palm. That's good to see. But yeah, I mean, mobile market's a mess. That's about all that can be said about that, to be honest. I don't really play any mobile games. Any of you guys?
I don't think we're qualified for this conversation, really.
Yeah. I mean, I would make a joke about a certain...
I play.
Oh, what mobile game do you play?
Raid Shadow Legends.
No, we don't. We're not sponsored by Raid Shadow. We can't say the name. Bleep that out. Me in the future, bleep that out.
I've just had a Star Wars game that I've been like on it for like 5 years now.
Okay.
A lot of time and grind and put into it. Yeah, it's pretty fun, but that's like the only one to play. All others have dropped off. All the Fallout shelters and the bloody Elder Scrolls Blades and all that garbage. Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, it's on Switch now, guys.
So now I can wait for my chest to open on my Switch, on my 4K TV. Could sit and watch the timer go down.
But yeah, also if Raid does want to, send a sponsor my way, my email is zanrise@gmail.com. You want to send that on over? We can get you set up. Don't you worry.
I mean, who wants?
Maybe there's a Raid Shadow Legends shirt in that box you've got.
Yeah, that's it. They sent me the deal in the box.
I hope that's what it is. I hope you open it and you're like, what's inside? Oh, it's Skillshare.
It's just an audio book that starts playing. Audible sponsors you. Oh, we're giving too many shout outs to free sponsors. I'm gonna have to bleep all the names out, and I'll just put brand name. I'll just have me saying brand name over it. don't want to give them free attention, you know. If they want anything from me, they gotta pay me. I want to see that dollar. That. Hold on, I've got money here. That. Ooh. I probably shouldn't wait. I don't know where that's been. You know, wherever.
What?
As long as it's not been in that McDonald's cup.
I'm just saying, you know, I don't know how long the thing that we shall not name lasts on that kind of stuff. So just gonna brush that off on my legs. It'll be fine.
Brilliant.
But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think what else we've got is like the final Terraria. The final Terraria patch has dropped. Again. I mean, I've not looked into it too much. I'm not a massive Terraria person. I played it during alpha, and then like played like alpha and beta and a little bit of launch, but I didn't really properly play it after that. I know Ziv can probably speak more to Terraria than I can.
Yeah. Take it away, Ziv.
It's true. I'm pretty sure me and you have got like nearly full end game, Zem.
I mean, did I really play that much though? I probably wasn't paying attention. Let's be honest.
I mean, I think playing a fair bit. But yeah, I mean, I've been playing it since its very early days. Was it in a beta or alpha? I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot since it first came out. So I've played it through to its end game, probably about 5 times or something like that.
Only
its
5.
end game just gets longer, and it never used to be that long. I mean, because there was no hardcore, and then there's hardcore, and the game was like twice as long, and then there's like super hardcore, and then they just add more and more bosses. But yeah, I played a lot of it originally, and then the big 1.2 update I played a lot. Probably that was the most I've played, where I was full endgame gear. 1.3 was quite a big update. I didn't play that massively, but a fair bit. And now I think this one's 1.4, if I'm correct.
That 1.6. It's 1.7.
It's one of them, but whatever it is, Journey's End, for years they've been sort of, I think the updates before 1.3 was kind of like, because I mean, it's probably been about 6 years since they said they were bringing out the final patch. And I don't know if they just split it up and were like, well, we need to get something else, just get 1.3 out there. Totally the last update, guys. And I think Journey's End has been getting worked on for like years now. I've barely played. I only mainly know that they added Journey mode, which is quite cool. It's like a semi-creative mode.
Okay.
So you can toggle God mode, but you don't have to. So you can still play it normally. It spawns you in with iron stuff, so it's not as grindy. You get started a little bit earlier. You have very like weak wings just to help you get over big drops. And you have this like bird that can defend you, but you can desummon it if you don't want to use that. You can also tweak the difficulty to wherever you want it to be. Journey is actually half difficulty by default, but I put it up to normal. But I like it because you can toggle rain, daytime, all sorts of things, which I really like doing with Terraria.
Rain can get annoying.
Yeah, I do like, because obviously there's some really good music in the different biomes and stuff, and I like making sort of different sort of locations, and I just like those settings to sort of fiddle around and make little RP towns, because that's what I do.
You are the RP.
What a nerd.
I believe there's a lot more bosses now, and I think 1.3, which I didn't play much, already added more. So it sounds like there's a lot more end game now, but I don't know a lot of what's in this update, but I just know there's a lot added. But yeah, it's going to be good. I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time on it, but I can't really go into the specifics of what it has because I'd have to get like all the way through the game.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get back to us on the when you do get through it all.
I'll let you know in a while.
Yeah, you'll give us the full breakdown when we go in like 4 podcasts time. Who knows? But yeah,
who knows?
Also, Angel did just join the chat. I noticed. If
box time, baby.
Do I open the bomb or what is it's probably gonna be one of those. I feel like it's gonna be one of those mouse pads with the boobs on them.
I hope so.
I feel that's what it's gonna be. Do I go ahead and open this now?
Do it.
Oh, then Angel's saying wait for Jay. Okay.
Oh, I can't take it. I can't wait to see
I've been anticipating this for like the 3 hours. I've been sitting there. I'm pretty sure this is what anxiety feels like. I think I know what it feels like now. I'm over there going look in the box.
You can't experience emotion.
Yeah, it's true. I've tried.
I've got this image of you jibbing like in Quake, just all bits bouncing back off the wall, hits the green screen, and comes back at the camera.
Oh, Tef, the good old days when we were playing the original Quake. Was it Quake or was it the
It's
other
Unreal
one?
Tournament.
Unreal Tournament, sorry. Yeah, not Quake.
I've never played Quake 1, actually.
Oh, Unreal Tournament. That was a good
Unreal
time.
Tournament. It was so much fun.
I
Just
didn't
me
play
and you
with them.
online because God, the people who play online on Unreal Tournaments, just like inhuman people.
Oh yeah, that's the same for Quake. Like, that's any of those games. Like now, if you were to go back to like CS, I mean, I guess there's people on CS now that are really bad as well. It depends what you
True.
play. But like, see, if you're playing like CS, I feel like Source. There's probably still some people that play Source who are like gods at Source, but can't play any other CS game. I don't know who's playing Source, but I'm sure there is someone. There's that one guy on that
Oh,
one
there'll be
map with the laser semi-auto, just blasting through a wall over and over again.
You're just describing us playing Halo 3.
Mhm.
Hey, you know,
So it's when Halo 3 comes out, us three are going to be there, like just popping heads left, right, and centre.
I'm gonna
Just
have
come
a good
flooding
time
back to us.
when Halo. I can just see the
Show a
life
bit of
in
excitement.
Ziff's eyes, just dying. He's just like,
Just because he knows he won't have a life when Halo 3 comes out, he's like, I am ready to give my life.
hey,
Just give me that campaign. It's been so long.
oh, I'm ready to finish the fight. That's all I'm saying. And then have 3 more games right after that. Though I'm not gonna play 4. I don't care about 4, 5, or 6. There has been news about there was like an update on Infinite recently. They're like, hey, we are still working on it, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I noticed.
It's coming out by the end of the year, I think they said.
Yeah, it's just obviously like everything right now, it's been affected by the current state of affairs.
Yeah, they've basically given like no details at all about it.
I think it was mentioned that we're gonna get details. I don't know what event. It does an event, a digital one. It'll be a digital one because I don't see it actually.
They just said June, I think. They did mention an event separately, but I think in like the big announcement, they just said June.
I think June is when we'll see stuff from it, and then I don't think we'll actually see it this year. To be honest, I think it'll be next year, like early Q1.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be.
Any other news pieces, anyway?
I'm trying to think if I feel like we exhausted most of the news there. I feel like that might be it. So, anything else anyone wants to add? Any other news pieces?
Well, I mean, I guess it is news, my part, but we can discuss Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I was going to say we could talk about that, or we could just like save it for the topic section. Because if we want, we can go take a 10-minute break and come back.
Can do.
All right.
Give Jay a bit of time to show up, so
Yeah, we can
all be here for the jibbing.
Yeah.
The gibbening.
The gibbening. It'll be good. I'm gonna need someone to I mean Tef's probably gonna be here every week, so you'll be second in command. You're gonna take over once I'm gone. You can inherit the stream.
Yeah, I'm just here, so he writes me into his will, basically, is what this is about.
That's the only reason he joined. But yeah, I guess we'll go take a quick 10-minute break then, and then when we come back, we're gonna be talking about some topics that we brought. Right, Ziff?
Hey.
Indeed.
All right, well, we'll be back in 10 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere, and then we'll get into the rest of the show. All right, and we're back. We're live. We're on. So, I've got this box. I'm not going to show the box directly. I can show the back of the box. I want to show it directly because it's got my address on it. I should have really just, like, drawn over it with a pen or something. But I guess I'm opening this up. Are you all
Even
ready
though
for
all
me
your
to open
fans
this?
in the UK clearly already know your address.
Well, I mean, I feel like they had an inside man, is what I'm saying. And I've got a feeling I know who the inside man is. I've got my suspicions. But before we get to that, I'll open up the box. Is Angel actually here? Angel, are you actually here? You okay? You down that drink there, Ziff? You are.
It's all good.
You sweating a little down there? What's going on? You okay? So, I mean, this box may explode and it may kill me. I don't really. Okay, Angel is here. Here we go.
God.
I don't know if you can hear me cutting through it.
I mean, I can in stunning quality.
Yep. It sounds great.
Okay. This is wrapped.
Big reveal.
Whatever this is, it's wrapped and it's quite thin. There's also a note here. Boy, this was $39. Don't ban it. Love, Angel. Well, there you go. There's the message. Oh, is there more messages? No, there's a send.
Do you know what this is going to be, Zeph? Now I'm thinking that you might know what this is already.
Yeah, I got a feeling that maybe they did have an inside man. Maybe someone set up some sort of system for Angel to send a message. You know, Angel to send a package, and I wonder what this could be. Who could this person be? Maybe they're in this call with us right now. Who would know? You're okay down there, Ziff? You doing okay? You fine?
I'm alright.
Alright. Now I gotta open. Actually, the question is what? Okay, let's find out what this is. Come on. Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Is that what I think it is? Is that Pepe's arse?
That's what that is. That's what that is.
Brilliant.
Well done, Angel. Well done. Incredible.
Well, there it is. We guessed the mouse pad. We actually guessed it in the end.
We did. Somehow we knew.
I feel like I would have preferred an anime girl, but that's okay. I got Pepe now.
Yep.
Pepe's just gonna... I guess Pepe's just gonna... I don't know what I'm gonna do with Pepe. That was $39.
You can rest your wrist on the buttocks of a Nazi symbol.
Let's not bring that up. Let's not bring that part up. That was $39. Yeah, so Angel, I assume, had to pay shipping as well, which is why it probably cost so much. You get to use it. I mean, I do get to use it, don't I? I paid. I mean, they can't see if I'm using it or not. For you to use it. Well, I'm gonna treasure this forever. I'll treasure this, and I've got to keep it very safe. You know, I wouldn't want it to get any dust on it or anything along those lines. So I'm just gonna
Dust in between your cheeks.
put that down there. Think of the wrist ergonomics. I mean, it is.
My wrist feels comfy
I won't lie,
already.
It is rather soft. You know.
Oh,
There's a nice texture to it. You want me to show it again? You want to?
Plays a beat on it.
You want me to play a beat? I mean, I don't have it. It's got a. I don't think it'll. I'll get out the packaging first before I play a beat. Hold on. How do I open this thing? Let me just.
It's defeated by the simplest packaging.
It's gonna be like a.
Just used a blade a second ago.
There we go. There's a thing on it. There it is. Oh.
In all its glory.
It sticks out a lot more when it's not in the packaging. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Majestically swaying in the wind, like Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, we are just in the wind.
Ooh, good acoustics on that. Sounds good.
In the wind. Oh yeah. Oh, it's got a bit of a smell to it. I'm not gonna. Just gonna put that down there for now. You know, it's
I can
probably
smell
gonna
that from
need
here.
It's probably gonna need cleaning.
Why do most mats have, like, they all smell the same? So I can smell it from here just looking at it.
Yeah, it's got that smell. Okay, well,
I don't know how we can follow up from that.
I don't know either. My cam's dying. Hold on, let me readjust.
No,
There
you
you
look
go.
better this
Oh.
way.
There you
Just
go.
bring Pepe's butt cheeks into focus, nothing else. Depth of field on those cheeks.
All right. Well, I mean, I think I would have preferred the Nine Guild to that, but hey, I'll take Pepe's large, round, soft behind to rest my wrist on, I
soft.
suppose. It was very soft. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. How do we follow that up? I wanted them
Well, you're the
cheeks to
man
be the
with the
focus.
schedule.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. Sorry, I'm just a little all over the place now. I feel like from there we'll move on to topics. While we're just moving on to, I'm just gonna quickly go wash my hands because I've just touched the box and stuff. You know,
Gotta be safe.
Safety.
gotta be safe. You know, gotta stay safe, kids. Stay alert. Okay.
Stay alert.
I want you all to stay alert. But yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick. If you two wanna ramp for me,
What are we ranting on?
just vamp for me. Just talk about whatever.
Okay. So what's your topic, Sif? Because my
I'll be
topic of the day is Pepe's arse cheeks. Funnily enough, you can't follow one from that.
Yeah, you can't. It's true. I'd put the McDonald's cup on top of it if I were him.
It's funny too. I feel like if you just drew a few lines on that green screen, you could make Pepe's arse out of that.
It's true. I was thinking you should just hang it in the background if anything. But
Oh, you should.
just occasionally play a
Oh.
beat on it. Maybe when you get to follow her, just play a beat. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna get him to add it. So like, with enough points, you can get him to just slap Pepe's arse.
Yep.
1,000 points, slap Pepe. Give Pepe a good spanking.
I think he'd set the cost to like 1 million channel points.
Oh my god. We can't follow on from that. That's it. That's killed the podcast. Game over, man.
It's true. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do now. What are they gonna do?
I want him to just hang it from like a coat hanger or something.
Oh well.
Just there is
as
coat
it
hanger in the
happens,
background.
I have a hang.
There we go. Keep it going. I've just realised my BMO died at some point. I didn't even notice.
Oh, I thought I'd hear it like break, but I didn't.
It didn't hit the floor. It just kind of went like. So yeah, I had a little BMO in the background the whole time. People probably didn't notice because it was tiny in the background, but
There it is.
All right, I'm back, boys.
hello.
Oh,
probably
oh,
said-
I've got the Mandalorian.
You probably fell midstream. We just didn't notice.
Hello. It didn't
Just
hit
keep that
the
there. That's
floor,
your
so
cam now.
yeah.
It's a better look, honestly.
At least it's not Pepe.
Hey, Pepe was a gift. Okay, he was a gift to me.
Literally.
He's a gift to us all.
He was a gift to this world until he became, a hate symbol. Prior to that, he was a gift to this world.
we were just saying you should set it as a points reward. So for like
Oh,
1,000
Don't
points,
worry, I
we can
had
get you
the
to slap
headphones
us.
on. I was good.
Oh.
That's why I was saying vamp for me, because I know exactly what you're all saying. But that's fine. So we all had a topic that we brought, right? Right, Sif?
We did. I've got one. It's just not a topic. It's still a thing to talk about.
All right. Do we want to start with yours then?
Might as well, because it's like a bit simpler than like a full-on debate about something. But that is just the Ghost of Tsushima, or yeah, the gameplay reveal that it got about an 80-minute video or something. I mean, God, when did the reveal first come out? It feels like 4 years ago now.
A long
I don't
time
even know.
ago. I remember just seeing bits
yeah.
and pieces of it.
And what that showed was like even more basic and generic. To be honest, it looks like they have improved from that at least quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, to me, it just it looked like nothing really new, just a blend of things. It mainly looked like Assassin's Creed, what it used to be, although heavier on fighting. It's more like Sekiro combat, if anything, because you need to get like the parries and stuff to get those death
I feel
blows.
like Assassin's Creed combat was always kind of boring, though, in my opinion. So it's like Assassin's Creed with good combat. From what
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw.
that's
it was does kind of have good combat now though, because they just stole the Dark Souls combat.
True.
I've
I've not played the new Assassin's Creed, so I can't really speak for that. But it reminds me of like, hey, old Assassin's Creed, but with good combat and set in Japan, which is what everyone wanted.
Yeah. It's I mean, AC combat it's a lot better now, but the problem is so many enemies take like 1,000,000 hits to kill, and it's like they're really spongy. But yeah, this looks good. It looks like a lot of enemies you can take down really with a lot of precision, which is cool. And then they showed the stealth as well. It's a bit weird. They didn't really explain it much, but it sounds like over the course of the game, you become more the Ghost of Tsushima, and you like become more dishonorable and start doing more stealth. Because I looked into it, because they only mentioned it briefly, saying like, "Oh, you can do dishonorable stuff," but like he sort of comes away from being a samurai over the course of the game, and people fear you more, and he gets like more dishonorable and just does whatever he needs to do to get rid of the Mongol invasion.
So you could be more of an assassin and less of a samurai, depending on which path you go down. From the looks of
it's
what
weird,
I heard.
It's sort of sounding like it I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can just be a samurai or whatever. It sounds like the sort of story is going to make you more the ghost over time. But I don't know. He did look pretty badass in full samurai armor. That was pretty great. But yeah, the actual exploration as well looked pretty open. A lot of wind mechanics.
Yeah, I do. I recall seeing a thing where they were mentioning. This was like a tweet I saw a while ago, so it was just a headline where it was like, they will not have objective markers. You just have to, look at stuff in the world and figure out where you are. And that was like a big selling point. Yeah.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? They do have an objective marker. It's just the world's weirdest one.
Yeah.
Follow the wind.
It's cool. There's follow the wind. There's a bird showing you things that you can't see on the map, and then there's the fox taking you to the shrine. I mean, it's cool. At least it's not just a generic marker. It's pretty cool.
Can I just say, I love in the trailer when he goes up to the edge of the woods, and there's a guy at a campfire going, "No, don't go in the woods. They're haunted. You'll die." And the character just like dead ass looks at him and then just trots on without saying.
It says talk, and he just doesn't talk to him. I guess he doesn't want to show dialogue. I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably just a thing at that point in time. They were like, "This is a work in progress. Let's just go past this guy. Let's get to the meat
there was no response."
Yeah.
The one thing I could see that was literally taken right from Odyssey. You've played Odyssey, haven't you, Tef? Have you?
Nope.
Oh, is it in Origins? No, I don't think it. No, because Odyssey has more crafting and stuff. But Odyssey has like these rocks and olive branches that are like these tiny little trees that in the world, as you're riding past, you can pick it up the quick of a button. And that's like, they put that right in this, because you've seen him with the bamboo as he's walking past, he picks it up just like Odyssey.
Yeah, I didn't notice that actually. It's weird how he just picked it up as he was like riding past. Automatically.
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, it's not like Red Dead 2 where you have to like sit down and get all these drawers open.
I mean, your horse isn't gonna, walk into something and then collapse in this. I'm sure
it's not. But yeah, I mean, it looked pretty good. I mean, yeah, it had like grappling hook again, like Sekiro. It's sort of mesh up of games, mash up whatever, and it looks okay. I'm interested in it, but it doesn't look groundbreaking in any way.
I mean, if any, the scenery and stuff looks like really good. It looks like the environments are going to be really, breathtaking.
That's what I was saying to Tef earlier. I was saying, I think it's. I mean, the gameplay will be good. Nothing new. It's more just going to be the actual world, and going through it is going to be the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah. If they nail the world, that'll be the best part, definitely.
Yeah. I think it looks like they're innovating on the Assassin's Creed a little bit as well. So if they, do something really good with it, then it could be the best in its genre if it does manage to pull that off. But we'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right then. Tef, would you like to move on to your topic?
Yeah. So my topic, I have notes somewhere. Oh my god, where are they?
Oh, you got notes. You're actually prepared.
Only because I'd immediately forget what it was if I didn't, and I did kind of forget, even though it's my own topic. I'm just stupid.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, mine came on from when we were playing Halo custom games, Was that last night? That was the night before, wasn't it?
Night before.
Time
Yeah.
is just
What is time?
slips away from me, honestly. No, yeah. I don't know. It just got me thinking about how well, like when Halo 3 first came out, and it came with Forge mode and theater, and they seemed like huge step forward at the time, and it felt like it just made sense for the games industry to follow on with that and keep iterating on that idea. And we did get theater. To be fair, it kind of got ignored for a while, but then it has become a standard now with things like photo mode and the share button. There's
Mhm.
definitely more of a focus on that, but customization and custom content and kind of mods in general has just gotten swept under the rug because it's harder to monetize that. And
Hey, Bethesda gave it a good go.
Yeah, Bethesda did try. I mean, that was a bit
We all
too
remember
heavy-handed,
that.
wasn't it? Though, literally just slapping price tags on mods is definitely not going to work. But like, it got me thinking about how games just don't support mods anymore. A lot of the time, or just in general, kind of custom content. I was trying to think of recent examples of games that were like that had a big focus on custom content. I guess there's Dreams. I've not really
Yeah.
played too much of that, but to be fair, that looks like that's got a really complex editor.
To be fair,
So fair play to that.
Fortnite actually has some sort of custom game mode you can play in there where you can. It's got like its own forge or something. I think. I don't know if anyone here has played that. Can't say I have. I think we're all boomers here, right? So none of us have played.
I think
Fortnite.
that's just like a creative mode, though. I think I can't be certain because I'm a boomer, but I think that's literally just like building. I don't know if it's custom maps because how would that even work in a battle royale anyway?
Yeah, because it's not like Halo. You can have like infection and all sorts of rules and stuff like
I
that.
think they have like parkour maps and stuff. I think. So I can't really say for sure, but that's something I know about. Other than that, yeah, a lot of games they like to lock that stuff down and be like, no, we don't want any extent. They want to be able to monetize their own sort of content and put it in, or it's like we don't want people hacking our game and cheating and stuff like that, and they put DRM, like all the fun DRMs that we all have come to love and enjoy.
Ooh.
I believe there was one in Doom recently, wasn't there? Doom was having issues with that, and then Valorant.
Yeah.
Valorant.
Yeah.
We could talk about Valorant's DRM for a while, but
Ooh, that's a big topic.
It's currently in my taskbar.
oh, it's probably in mine as well. I'm gonna go get rid of that right now.
What is it? Vanguard. Yeah.
Yeah, right, Vanguard. Oh no, I don't have it in there. I must have already exited today because you used to not even be able to turn it off, but now they added a feature where it's on by default, and you can't set that to not be on by default, but you can exit out of it in your taskbar if you choose to.
My question is, if you boot Valorant, will it ask you to restart your PC to put it back on?
It does. It makes you restart.
See, that's dodgy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it on.
Like the Ring Zero DRM is like kind of bad enough in and of itself, because it's such a big security risk. But I think I'd be willing to put up with it if it wasn't on all the time. Like Doom's is only on when the game's playing, so fair enough. Why has Valorant's got to be on all the time? That's just shady.
Because
that's what gets me about that. I can't think
must know. They must know what we want, so they must know how to market to us and sell ads with our
Winnie the
information.
Pooh over in China wants to know. That's what's really going on.
Can we say that? Can we say that? It's fine. We just won't be available in China anymore.
Stream pulled. That's fine. All your Chinese fans will miss you.
I've just looked over at Twitch and it just said welcome to the chat room again, as if the stream just restarted or something. So
that's fine.
Okay, we're good.
So anyway, bringing it back to what my topic was actually about, so we don't get pulled from Twitch. I mean, I've got a little note here on my notes. There's literally just one little section in brackets that just says, "Isn't it funny how The Sims 4 didn't do this despite being EA?" Which is really true, actually. Like, The Sims could have just shut off all the custom content, but it didn't. And it does have microtransactions now in like The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 have clothes and earrings and whatever that you can buy, but there's nothing stopping you from just downloading custom content once.
Like vampires and stuff are now. They don't call it. They don't. It's not an expansion anymore. It's not. it's like it's a game pack. It's a game pack. It's not a stuff pack. The stuff packs are separate to the expansions.
It's an extra tier
and the expansions are different to the game packs, and the game packs include like vampires and other stuff like that. And that annoys me so much.
The game packs, it's the worst. It's literally because you got the expansions. Actually, I have quite a bit. I've got like 2 of them, I think, and then you got the stuff packs, which are always like random items
stuff.
But now you got the game add-ons, game packs, which is literally like every one of them is like one tiny mechanic for like £15.
Yeah.
Like what?
I think they don't care.
You buy Crusader Kings DLC, you can't say anything.
Crusader Kings. It's a good time.
CK DLC is like amazing, and it's better than most of their other game DLC. Europa is terrible DLC.
But yeah, I think honestly they don't care, because one thing that a lot of the custom content in Sims is reliant on is it's reliant on expansions. It's like, to use this custom content, you need X expansions and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, the expansions are a different ballgame, and to be fair, they've been doing the whole stuff pack, expansion pack thing since The Sims 2, and that is a whole different ballgame. Like they do take that to ridiculous levels. No, it was just expansions in one.
Was Date
you
Night,
could get
was
everything.
Date Night an expansion?
Yeah, they were all classed expansion pack as like expansion packs.
I feel like Date Night was smaller though, if I remember. I'm trying to think.
But only because it was kind of an earlier expansion. The expansions got bigger as they went on with the Sims 1. Because like the first one was more like what you'd expect from a stuff pack today. Like the first one, Living Large, was just more furniture. And then Date Night was kind of an actual expansion with a new area, but it was quite small by like modern standards. But like, I mean,
that's when magic was
making magic. That's it. Well, it did get bigger and bigger as it went on, and then you had stuff like Superstar and Holidays and Making Magic, which has a lot more in. But like, that's a whole different ball game anyway. That is a little bit not great, but like it just amazes me that they haven't locked down custom content, because so many companies have done that now. And it's weird that EA of all companies are still okay with having custom content in their games. Sims 5 probably won't have it, to be fair.
I think it's become like an integral part of The Sims, though. To the point where you're like, I want to get the custom content, I want to share my content. They've even sort of built in the people being able to share their own creations and stuff.
Yeah.
But not the custom content. They haven't built that into it, which I don't think they ever will, but they'll always have the site available, I think. And they'll be like, hey, if you want to get this custom content, you can, but you do need X expansion, because I think that does give people more of a reason to pick up expansions. It's like, I can get all this custom content that I want as well.
See, that's the logic to it from our side, from like a consumer side, but I don't think the companies necessarily see it that way. I'm surprised that EA see it the same way we do. It just seems, for EA, everything's about money, so it's just odd.
I think Sims has always been a bit of a cash cow for them anyway, and they're always gonna get a ton out of it regardless. So they probably don't even care that much. They're just like, just keep doing what you're doing, make us that sweet dollar, and we're all good.
I can't agree with that. I don't think for EA, I don't think there's ever a point where it's making enough money, to be fair. Like the stupid things they've done just to get a few extra bucks out of people.
I mean, yeah, they want to milk that cow dry if they can, but that's just, I feel like they don't mind too much because it is a big cash cow.
He does when Sims 5 comes out.
Even more now.
Wait, what did you say, Ziff?
I said the game packs just get them even more money now.
Yeah, they've got that on top of it, and I'm sure if they wanted to, they'll throw in another tier. It'll be called to give us money tier. The give us money pack. You get absolutely nothing with it.
It's just a donate button.
Season.
You get a badge on the forum.
I mean, do you remember? Speaking of mobile games earlier, there's like a Sims mobile game. I don't know if it's still going, but it was a thing for a while where it was just basically The Sims 3, except you put a chair down and it was like, wait 8 hours for your chair to appear. And it was just The Sims, but with timers on it. Yeah.
I mean, EA has done there's been a lot of dodgy mobile games. I remember Dungeon Keeper as well. The Dungeon Keeper mobile game that came out, that was an absolute joke. That's just how mobile games like to work now. It's like there's always a timer on them. There's always some sort of GM store.
bottom line kind of point I was just trying to make anyway was that I just think it's a shame because you lose a sense of community when people are creating all these things, and you've got so many games where the community around them created amazing things that in some cases became bigger than the game they're originally based on. Look at all the
Dota.
games like Dota
I was gonna say
and
those, yeah.
and Counter Strike and Team Fortress that were all mods. Gary's mod, obviously. I don't think we're ever going to get games like that again because it's just not encouraged by developers anymore, which is a shame.
No, they gotta lock down that IP. That's gotta be money in their bank. If you make any custom content, you are legally they own it. Now it's like we gotta lock that down. We're gonna make a franchise out of it.
And have another Dota situation.
Yeah,
because like Dota. Speaking of Dota, did you guys see what Blizzard said about when they brought out Warcraft 3 Reforged? That's a whole nother kettle of fish. But the actual custom maps on it.
Getting angry thinking about Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Did you guys see their statement to like map creators?
I briefly remember hearing something about this, but I'm not sure what the exact message was. It was that we own your custom maps or something, wasn't it?
The message was literally like all you creators who literally made entire genres from our game back in the day, and how your maps are like even part of competitive play. All your it was like really stern in its messaging. It was like please be aware, like all your content, it is ours. It is not yours. It's like really stern. It's like it does not belong to you. It all belongs to us. You cannot use it. It is our property now. It's like what? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, modern's how a lot of people get into game developments as well. That's like how people get into the scene. And now people are just it's like, okay, I guess I'll go make an indie game instead. Because people can do it if they want to.
Over.
Yeah.
It's so on the nose with it being Warcraft 3 as well. It's like, this is the game that had Dota stolen from us. We haven't forgotten. It'll never happen again.
I think that's why a lot of big publishers are like, we gotta lock this down. We've seen where this has went before. We're not letting it happen to us. Anything you make is ours, and it will forever be ours.
It does make you wonder if it'll stifle new genres appearing, though, because so many recent genres in the last 10 years or so have come from mods. I mean,
PUBG, battle royales have come from mods.
Battle royale, yeah, like PUBG, and even like battle royales. You can see the DNA of them. You can see the sort of the beginning in games like DayZ.
Yeah, that's where it all came from, like stuff like that. Arma 2 was like a big place for a lot of the genres that we have now. Because it was like DayZ, and then we had like Rust and stuff like that was very similar that came out. And then it's evolved into Battle Royale as well. And then I think now we'll start to see stuff like Valorant. We'll see a lot of Valorant clones and stuff that are quite like Valorant and CS. And I think Valorant and CS are going to be the big two. They're going to be like the Dota and the League. And owned by the same companies as well. So I think that's what it's going to be, and it's going to be a lot of smaller devs being like, "Hey, here's our paladins," like.
Oh yeah.
Our small game that's free. That's also like these two big games that you could play. It's not as good, not all the cool kids are playing it, but you can get in on that as well. And then there's going to be a lot of people trying to innovate on that, and I think we'll still see the genres evolve. Because we've seen that with like Valorant is like CS, but they've taken some stuff from Overwatch and like the hero classes and stuff, which have came from games before that as well. And we're just gonna see stuff like that evolve over time.
Just modernized its formula.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really slow process, but it always is. I just don't know what after like Valorant and stuff. I'm not sure what the next big sort of genre is gonna be. I feel like FPS games are always, and shooter games are always going to be like the big game, the cool kids game. Yeah. It used to be like League and MMOs. It used to be like MOBAs and MMOs were really cool, and then MOBAs were really cool, and then FPSs right now are like where all the cool kids are at.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose FPSs have been the good stuff since literally Doom. I don't think that's ever going to go away.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been there. I think MOBA, like especially with like League and stuff, definitely blew up that scene. That scene is massive now, and I wish I could get back into League properly, but I've not been able to whenever I try. It's just sort of like a...
Yeah, I am trying lately.
But yeah.
So Ziff sent us the statement in our little Discord there, Zanrise. I don't know if you want to read that out.
Oh, it's great.
That'd be really good to read if I could. If I could actually close the Discord and not have you guys, your cams all disappear on the stream.
Oh,
okay.
Do you want to read it for
Should
me?
we do a dramatic reading?
Yeah, do a nice dramatic reading.
Okay, I could do like an evil cackling Scrooge like.
I could have done my main voice,
bean
but
counting.
I can't see it.
They're going to be like, custom games are and shall remain the sole and exclusive property of Blizzard. Without limiting the foregoing, you hereby assign to Blizzard all your rights, title, and interest in and to all custom games. That's a bad sentence. And agree that should Blizzard decide it is necessary, you agree to execute future assignments promptly upon receiving such a request from Blizzard. So literally, if Blizzard comes to you and they go, see that game that you made, it's good, it's ours now, you can't say no. You're just like,
we're making money off it, get out of it.
Yeah, I just imagine a guy just stamping that seal, like sealing it after he's done with that and be like, there you go, it's done, Saz.
I mean, the joke's on them because those
No one's got
EULAs, they never hold up in court. They never hold up in court anyway, so...
I mean, I don't think people are going to crave for it anyway. It's just going to have people go, okay, well, we're just not going to make anything for your game. There'll be some people that obviously enjoy the game. Yeah. I mean, they can't play the original Warcraft anymore, can they? They've, like, stopped people being able to play that. It's now you have to play Reforged.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I read somewhere that, like, Warcraft 3 Reforged is, like, the worst performing game that Blizzard's ever put out. Like, ever. Like, no one's buying it. Literally, no one's buying it at all.
I mean, it was a joke. We expect... everyone expected, like, hey, they're going to remaster this game. They're going to remake it. It's going to look amazing. But from what I heard, they outsourced it. They were like,
Yeah. They showed us amazing visuals, and it's literally not that at all. It's just, like, upscaled a little bit. That's it.
They showed off a vertical slice at some point, and it was like, whoa, this is it. We're going back to Warcraft 3, everyone. Here we go, and here we are.
Oh, and they wouldn't let anyone refund it for about 2 weeks.
Scummy.
And that didn't hold up.
Blizzard are not the company they used to be, to say the least. Which is a shame. I feel like Riot have started to take the place of that in a way, but Riot also do some very shady stuff as well. They're definitely... No one's clean. No one's got that squeaky clean reputation anymore.
God, not even CD Projekt Red's clean, are they?
No, I mean...
don't say that to Zan. You'll upset him.
I've heard about, like, they've had, like, claims within their own workforce about stuff that goes on there.
I'm not even thinking much about that. I think any company's going to, because it's the people within the company. You can't control what the employees do. But I'm more just... I mean, I personally, like, CD Projekt Red for a long time to me has been, like, just, like, one of the perfect gaming companies. They're not getting corrupted. Obviously, there's still stuff going on. It happens everywhere. But the only thing I've really heard from them is just their... what you call it? The crunches. They're really bad at crunching.
Yeah.
Like, they've been crunching like crazy for Cyberpunk, and I don't agree with it at all. But that's
I think that's
not
the
good
industry,
at all. That's all I've heard.
Like, that's just an industry standard, and it's something that obviously needs to change. But a lot of companies aren't. They need to do it. They're like, no, we can't manage our time properly, or it's like this game needs to be out by this date, and we will not push it back any further. Which for CD Projekt Red doesn't make a lot of sense, because I've been waiting for this game for like 7 years now anyway. What does it matter?
Yeah. What's
9 years?
3 more years? Who cares?
9 years, I think it is nearly.
Yeah, I was like... that teaser trailer came out, I was like, Game of the Year. Whenever that comes out, Game of the Year. Yeah. I'm still waiting.
Like, they've taken so long, they don't need to worry about it. They need to just calm down.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they've gotten to a point where the expenses have gotten so great, it's like, we just need to get this out.
It probably is a ridiculous budget after how well Witcher 3 did. They probably just got so much money for it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we went on a big tangent there, didn't we?
Big all round.
Where were we at?
Well, it was about custom content, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it does kind of,
Yeah.
if it does feed into just the general industry as a whole and how it kind of can be. So whatever.
Yeah.
Speaking of crunch, though, isn't it funny how Naughty Dog keep going on and on about how good their crunch culture is, even though they're like well known for being the worst company out of all of them for crunch. But they're like, no, guys, honestly, The Last of Us 2, they're all having a lovely time. They're all in sun lounges, just out in the back enjoying themselves. We all know it's not true.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah.
had the person come out and talk about it, and then there was leaks after that, which made it even worse, which made it seem like it was the person that spoke about it, and honestly, that actually, leaked it, but it was apparently just hackers that got into, I don't know, they did some code injection or something, which we don't have to go
its
too deep
sales
into.
are really going to suffer after the story leak. A lot of people absolutely hate it.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I've not even played the first Last of Us, so I can't really say.
That's good.
Oh, do it, play it.
Yeah, I've got to play it at some point. It's just, again, I don't have a capture
Can't
card,
stream
so
it.
most
No
of the
capture
stuff,
card.
most of the stuff I play is stuff I can stream at this point because that's my life. But yeah, is that all we want to say on that topic then?
What's your topic?
What is my topic? Well, so for anyone who's watched my YouTube videos recently, I recently did a video on a pay-to-win survey that was put out for Arcade, and they went over different things asking, is this pay-to-win? Is this not pay-to-win? Is this a little pay-to-win? And I kind of wanted to talk about pay-to-win in general and like what you guys would consider, like how do we define pay-to-win in certain ways? Because it's kind of complicated in Arcade, I think, when I was going over the stuff. So I realize, I'm saying Arcade and the people from Twitch are like falling asleep already.
Me too.
But like, I think a very obvious way of saying it is stuff that helps you progress and is not cosmetic or has some sort of gives you some sort of advantage in the game is definitely pay to win. And I think we'd all agree with that, right?
Yeah, I think usually the line is cosmetics, isn't it? Pay for cosmetics, that's fine. As sad as it is when you've got to pay real money to look cool, it's sad when they don't just let you earn it. But I think that is usually the line, isn't it? Anything that's not cosmetic, you can say that's pay to win. And where it gets complicated is the fact that most MMOs do, to some degree, still have things like XP boosters in their premium currency stores. So
that was one of the things that was on there. It was like they had XP boosters, and then they also had like craft time potions, craft speeds. So it was like it's not pay to win. I don't have a big issue with it, but it's also like I'd rather it not be something people could just pay for. I think I have that issue with. I still have that issue with kind of cosmetics as well. It's really a shame that they kind of take a lot of cosmetic stuff out of the game. That stuff could be rewards for like achievements, for example, like Halo 3 did armor achievements. You had the achievements to get armor pieces and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Higher booster,
yeah.
Recon.
Yeah.
Like that's what I miss. I miss when games would have achievements or cosmetic items just in the world, and you had to do certain things to actually get it. And I feel like a lot of the microtransaction stuff just takes away from that. And like, I don't know. That also blurs the line in Arcade because a lot of pets and mounts have abilities on top of being
that's
a cosmetic.
That's what I mentioned in my comment to you.
Yeah, it's got different move speeds as well. And it's like, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely pay to win at that point, isn't it? I don't think you can argue otherwise on that part.
But I mean, people were making cases for it as well. They're being like, honestly, the weird thing was in that video, a lot of the comments that I got were like, no, be careful what you say, otherwise they'll make it pay to win, or they'll put it all in the credit store. And it's like,
don't give them ideas.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wish, especially with MMOs, they'd have like, I feel like WoW especially. WoW has a subscription model, but it doesn't need the microtransactions as much, even though it does have them. But WoW does a really good job of having a lot of collectibles out in the world.
Yeah.
Like you can just go do you can go do old content just to farm mounts and stuff, and that's a big part of WoW for a lot of people. So it may surprise you, but that's what a lot of people do in WoW instead of actual current content.
Big YouTubers we know like just farm like super rare mounts all the time, and they're still doing it. They're doing it for years. There's just so much stuff to collect in that game, and you don't need to pay to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that WoW's only got all that stuff because it was put in before the game had microtransactions. You know, if it was built from the ground up, would they have put that stuff behind a paywall? Probably. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because obviously they still keep putting it in now, but it's like, is that only because they've already set that up, and if they changed it now, people would start freaking out probably.
They do have store mounts though on top of that though, which they do constantly add to. So they're always like, well, our team never really had a lot to do, so we just let them make them out, and then they sell that on top.
Yeah, it's the same with, because I actually forgot to mention a game that I've been playing a lot recently. I got back to FF14. I've been having a great time with that.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning FF14 a while ago.
I've been just loving everything about it because there's just so many features they put in. It's like they genuinely listen to the community. There's loads of RP features. There's loads of just all sorts of really good quality of life features.
I've seen there's like a wedding.
One of the things is like,
that's like a thing.
Oh yeah, that's been there for a long time. Yeah. But they just added loads of requested stuff, and there's loads of times I've been like, God, it'd be really great if I could do this really good quality of life thing, and it's just in there, and they've put it in. It's like, oh, that's great. But yeah, with that as well, that's like, wow. I've been because I was looking at, what can you buy, and there's nothing there's no labor pot or anything. There's nothing that really gives you an edge. It's all cosmetic stuff. They've got a store basically the same as Blizzard, so you can get, there's some pets there, there's some outfits there, but nearly everything you can get in the game. Even now, you can go back and get all the achievements. Some of it is like being top of the crafting classes. Some of it is, I found they've got like this, because I haven't played it since like its original. Now there's like 3 expansions, but they've got like this big casino place, but it's all completely in-game currency. You cannot buy any of it.
Oh, is it like the Golden Saucer?
Yes, it's like
they actually have
all
game
shows.
Oh.
They do, yeah.
Oh,
and they put a few things in for like the Japanese community, like they put mahjong in it, and there's like lotteries, but again, all in-game currency. And apart from that, they've got like a card game, and they've got mini games as well. And speaking of platforming, yes, that's in there. And speaking of platforming, one of the mini games I went to, there's probably about 50, 60 people in it. It was platforming up this big mountain, and some of it was really tough, because it wasn't that hard to get to the top. You fall off a few times, but if you want to get the most currency to use in the Golden Saucer, there's like some bits of like the thinnest ledges imaginable. And you can't use first person or anything because there's like 50 more people jumping over you. But that was really fun. It made me happy to see it because I was going around specifically being like, all right, is there any way there's like any gambling? Is there any in like purchases? But there wasn't. They're all in game, and I just thought that was great. I've been really enjoying FF because it doesn't have anything like that in it.
I think Guild Wars 2 also does it fairly well. Like there is stuff that like costumes and stuff, but it's also you can grind the gems for that as well, right?
Yeah,
that's the thing you can.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a big grind to get enough gold to convert to gems, but on the other side of things, to be fair to Guild Wars, there's no subscription. It's a one-time payment.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit scummy with WoW, and I think it's the same with Final Fantasy, where you're paying a subscription and then they're expecting you to pay for microtransactions on top of that. That's just really scummy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But Guild Wars kind of actually need to pay any real money if you don't want to for the stuff on the gem store. It's just a big old grind, if you want all that cosmetic stuff. But then they've got XP boosters as well. Although to be fair, actually you can get the XP boosters as daily login rewards as well. So I think Guild Wars handles it quite well, to be fair.
Yeah. So I think it's an interesting topic because it can be hard to define them, especially like pay to win in an MMO. It can be hard to define, especially when it comes to like there's abilities on this pet. This pet might be slightly better than other pets in the game, and if you can also get this from the credit store, or like pay real money for it, then And I also feel like it takes away.
Arcade just more clouded in whether it's certain because like is time saver. And some people's like is crafting speed, is it pay to win? Some people would say no. other people would say yeah.
I'm
Depends
trying
on
to think
how
of
the
a
game is
situation-
built, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Trying to think of a situation where you need to craft really quickly, otherwise you might, die or something. I can't really think of
I
one.
mean, it's probably less than, probably just more that there's a lot of time spent crafting, and they want you to get bored of that so that you spend money. That's where the problem lies, isn't it? Really, it's not so much the fact that there are ways to decrease the time spent. It's that what if they start building the gameplay around these long game loops so that you get bored and start spending money on it. I mean, as much as you like the new Assassin's Creeds, if that's a big problem in them, they're really, really grindy, and part of that is because you can buy XP boosters in that for a single player game. That ain't good.
Oh,
That ain't
I'm
cheap.
90 hours in, and I've just finished the story.
Fists are about to fly.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
everywhere
duck
and
out.
get your levels up. Yeah, I avoided that XP booster like the plague. I know some people on Twitter got it and they regretted it completely because it destroyed the rhythm of the game. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I feel like just stuff like that just does take away from the game, especially like even with mounts and cosmetics. I feel like that's just an element of the game that's taken away, something that could have been there, that could have offered more incentive or reward to players. And it's a shame that stuff like that has to happen for certain games like MMOs, but single player games definitely shouldn't be seeing that.
No. And it is so much more fun to me when you're playing a game and you know that there's a big, like, tangible reward for doing
And you
something
earn
cool
it.
in the game. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
Resident Evil still does that really well, like, because Capcom are just smashing it these days. Resi's
Capcom.
always done that and still does. Like, you can unlock cool weapons and cool costumes by playing the game well, and sets out challenges like finish the game in under 3 hours, and we'll give you an infinite ammo rocket launcher and cool shades for Chris Redfield or whatever. And it's just
Yeah,
it's incentive to keep playing a game, isn't it? Oh yes.
Or being able to play as Wesker. I just want to play.
In 5 actually, yeah, that is a thing.
I just want a game where I play Wesker. That's all. I want a whole Wesker game.
yeah.
And I mean like 5 Wesker. Veronica Wesker, where he's basically in the where he's Neo, pretty much throwing missiles at people. I want like a spin-off that's kind of like Revengeance to Metal Gear. But for Resident
you could
Evil,
make that out of Late Wesker.
Yeah.
I think I'm a bit more bored, and I don't really want Late Wesker as cool as Matrix Wesker is. I want like a more down to earth Wesker. I want a game where you play as. I want a game where you play as Wesker in Resident Evil 1, and it's just the entire game from Wesker's perspective. I'd play a whole game where you just threaten Barry's family. I'd be down for that.
He's a traitor.
Jill, no, don't open that door. No, I'd be down for that because I just want to see. I just want to see the Spencer Mansion incident from Wesker's side of things, so you can just see him terrorising Barry at all times, or just hiding in a corner, watching Jill going ha ha ha, pulling the lever on the room, the Jill sandwich room.
Hey, I mean, maybe in Resident Evil 8, Wesker will return. I'd like Wesker back. Wesker was fun. Who knows?
Not like he's been dead for about 13 years or whatever.
Hey, you know what? They're rebooting the games. It's different now, slightly.
And now they're just remaking them all.
Yeah. They're remaking 4, so who knows? Maybe
I
they're
heard
gonna remake
about that. I don't
5
think they
as well.
should, to be honest. But
No.
Yeah. I don't think they should either, but maybe they'll remake 5 as well, and maybe Wesker won't die.
4's still amazing. It doesn't need it.
Spoiler, by the way.
It's really weird. I mean, spoiler for a 13-year-old game. I can't put my finger on what it is about the 4 remake that makes us all go ooh, like, because it is a really amazing game and it doesn't have to be remade, but they were all really amazing games.
My problem is it won't have the charm, because the charm of Resident Evil 4 for me was how campy and cheesy it was. Like, how are they going to put that in with the more serious sort of like timeline they've built with the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes?
Well, they probably won't, will they? Because the cheese was part of the charm with the first 3 games too, and they took that out. Like, even the Resident Evil remake, it's really old now.
Let's be honest, 4 was like very heavy on the cheese. Like, that was going to give me heart disease. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Leon was basically just a Bond in that, to be fair. You are right.
It was great. I loved it.
Code Veronica needs it much more because Code
Yeah,
Veronica
Code
needs it
definitely
because
does.
it's the ugliest Resi game for starters. It's uglier than the PS1 games. For some reason, when Claire turns, like in the PS1 games, when you turn on the spot, they do the walking forward animation as they turn, which looks a bit janky, but like, it's what the best they could do on the PS1. In Code Veronica, which is a game on the next generation of consoles, Claire just stands perfectly still and swivels on the spot. Why? Like, it's disgusting. And that game really needs a rewrite anyway, because there's what's his name? Billy, is it? Who's just like the weirdest, whiniest anime character ever. Just write him out of the canon, please. Please.
Oh, he's
Please,
gonna
God.
make he's gonna be a main character in it. Don't you worry.
He's not
I'll
Billy.
bring him back.
Or is Billy from Zero? Billy is from Zero, isn't he? What's that guy?
Billy
You know the guy.
is Billy from Zero?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, because
Billy
they
Cohen's
start.
in Zero.
Yeah. Because you start on the train. Okay, yeah. I played
Steve
Zero on
Burnside.
train. I should know.
Steve Burnside is the guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah. He's gonna be a main character. They're gonna write him in as a main
He's
character.
He's going to be the
for
other
it.
campaign, the other viewpoint.
He needs to die. Oh my God! I've just Google searched Steve Burnside, looking at the images to just look at how cringy it is, and for some reason I found some YouTube thumbnail which is a close up on Claire Redfield's behind as she's bent over, and Steve Burnside is just going,
Why can't I get that on a mouse pad? That's all I'm saying.
Oh yes. Don't still do it. They'll actually do it too.
In chat they probably would. But yeah, I mean, we went real off topic from pay to win. I feel like we made our points. I feel like the points were said. Anyone want to add anything to that?
I think we've ranted long enough.
Yeah,
I think we've covered it.
There is one more thing we can talk about before we wrap, which we did miss in the news section, but there was the this is something that's just going to go over Tef's head, but you did look at it briefly, but the Twitch Advisory Council thing that was mentioned. Yeah. Don't worry.
Gone.
You can come back in 10 minutes. But
I mean, I'll laugh at this.
But yeah, I think it's I don't know. We're not going to talk about it that much. We'll just go over it briefly because there's been a bit of controversy around a certain member of it and a certain clip that was floating around, which probably should be taken into consideration. But also, I think the point of it is to be this like diverse cast of people on a council that can. It's 8 people, I believe, that can all sort of pitch in on the decisions that Twitch are making. It's gonna have nothing to do with bans, so no one can blame these people for banning. And I think Twitch might need to make that clear, because otherwise people are gonna get the people on that council are gonna get bombarded with messages like ban this person. And by this person,
that doctor in the suit's just gonna come in, swinging his ban hammer.
Yeah, they have like a mix of like actual professionals in like a field and then streamers. I feel like that should be separate councils. If they're gonna do a council thing, have 2 separate councils, in my opinion.
It does speak about bans a little bit on the final person who's part of it. It does say that he's looking forward to helping make rules clearer and reducing the confusion, specifically when it comes to bans and suspensions on the platform.
Yeah, he looks like a man you can't trust. He looks like he wields a ban hammer.
It's like a fake Jake
Gyllenhaal. Is that like Zisman, or is his name or something?
Yeah.
I think I know a little bit about him, and I think he'll actually do good. Him and Carnage, I think those two.
He does seem like
they'll actually do some good stuff for the platform. I don't really know much about the others. Like, I haven't heard of most of these people.
Half of them are like nothing to do with the gaming world at all.
Yeah, which is why I think they should be on a separate council, and then they should have streamers on another council, and maybe a more diverse cast of streamers, because it feels like they've just grabbed a few streamers, and I feel like there's not like a big streamer on there. There's not like a big game streamer or a big person that does just chat or anything like that. I feel like they should have people from each category.
IRL,
They should like.
I don't really feel like that's the point, though.
I mean, it's supposed to give advice on each part of Twitch, like what they're actually doing and the decisions they're making.
I mean, 90% of it, to be honest, seems to be more about the community and making the community like less toxic, which I don't know that much about the Twitch community in general, not gonna lie, but I didn't have an impression of it being particularly toxic. But most of these people, it's all about like, one's all about gay pride. The doctor is a doctor of criminology and criminal justice and is well known in his field for studying cyberbullying.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, that's what I
it's
mean
more-
by like
that's
most
like
of the people on the
completely
council
different
are just focused on this sort of cyberbullying and stuff, and I feel like most of them are all in the same boat on that thing. But I'm pretty sure it is to also make changes to the platform and help, develop Twitch in a way. And I feel like they should have people like that on there, but also include people from different categories and have like big streamers on there. Because there's not even like someone like for like Summit on there or something, or like Pokemon, because she's like one of the top female streamers, which it's weird that they don't have someone like that on there.
Yeah, so she'd also see a lot of the worst of Twitch as well, being at the top.
Yeah, and then they can give opinions on stuff they would like to see implemented. And then there's not people in like other categories. I'm trying to think of IRL streamers, but I don't really know any. I don't even know what Pokemon. Maybe Pokemon is. I don't know what she streams. I thought she was a Pokemon streamer for the longest time, but I was told she's not.
I mean, they have got this ferociously stuff and that cup and noodle as well. These might be well known people from all I know. I really don't know.
I don't know who Cup and Noodle is, but the Steph person was the one that was a bit of a controversy around.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, the cup and noodle one. It says she's apparently like a commentator, like an esports commentator. That's why they've brought her in.
Oh well,
doesn't say what she actually commentates on though.
That's good, but I don't know who she is. That's just me, being ignorant to that, I guess. But I've never heard of her.
I mean, she might not be your scene. It doesn't actually say what scene she's in. It just says that she esports commentates.
I also don't really know many esports commentators by name anymore. I used to know a lot back when I actually was super into esports, but I'm not as deep in anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's all I really have to say on that. I feel like they should try and vary out. You know what's interesting? They don't even have like anyone for like mental health on there. Like Dr. K, who's a guy who's like a psychologist that streams on Twitch now, and he's doing like interviews with streamers. I feel like reach out to him or someone, or like reach out to people that sort of do. There's like a group of people that do like small streamer videos and how to help small streamers and stuff. You know what I mean by that, Ziff, don't you? There's a lot of people like that they should reach out to and maybe pull someone out, because they talk to a lot of small streamers and they'll have a perspective on that side of the streaming as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the bullet points. They've got promoting healthy streaming and work-life balance habits and
healthy
stuff.
Streaming.
So,
I know a lot of healthy streamers. No, it's not happening.
Get some vitamin D.
So they do say promoting healthy, but I don't think there's anything on there about promoting that. It's more like, let's keep the cyberbullying away. So they should have reached out to someone like Dr. K or smaller, like people who are smaller streamer content creators, stuff like that.
I think it needs to just be a larger, more diverse council and more topics.
Yeah,
or just
I think eight people is not enough, and they definitely need to split.
Twitch is huge now.
Yeah, they can handle talking to more than 8 people at once. Though it may also be that like they talk to the top streamers regularly anyway. Maybe that's why people like that are not on there. But it's also like a public perception thing. Like this just looks like a bit of a PR thing. They're just like, look at all these people that we're going to have in a council.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to how much time they expect these councillors to actually invest into this. Is it going to be a thing where they're just asked to advise maybe like once a month, or is this going to be essentially a full-time job? Because if that's the case, then maybe that's why they couldn't have anyone who's too involved in Twitch. But I doubt that's going to be the case. I can't imagine it's going to be like that, especially since they've got a doctor there. Like I'm sure he's got more important things to do.
Yeah. I think the actual streamers, though, are going to be very invested, and they're going to want to put a lot of input, or I'd hope they'd want to put a lot of input into Twitch, because Twitch has a lot that it needs to change. Twitch is also very slow at implementing stuff. Like, we could talk about like the channel trailer stuff, still not out. That was announced like a year ago, and it's like it's in beta now. It's finally in beta, and then they had the ads as well, which I think is finally out. You finally have the ads at the top right of Twitch, right?
How
Oh,
hard can
yeah.
it be?
Yeah. They work through like a big, I don't know, it's like, I don't know what their system is over there, but they have to talk through so many people and management. There's just a lot of layers to it, I guess, and they just take forever getting stuff
All
out.
bureaucracy.
Yeah. But no, it's interesting because I am going to try and talk about Twitch stuff on here occasionally as well, even if it does go over Tef's head.
I mean, I've been on Twitch like 3 times a week for the past 2 months. I should probably pick these things up sooner or later.
I mean, yeah, you know, you're in the honeymoon phase of Twitch right now. You're like, Twitch seems like a very nice place. I don't see any toxicity.
Oh God, no! Oh
very
no,
healthy.
No.
Very healthy environment.
No, well, it doesn't seem. It does not seem that toxic to me. I mean, it does sort of get a bad rep, but there is far worse places out there. Just go on Twitter. Spend 10 minutes on Twitter, and then come back here.
I think most of the
trust me,
I think most of the toxicity from Twitch is just people on Twitter or Reddit talking about stuff that's happened on Twitch, and then it sort of explodes from there. And I think that's just where it all comes from. I think you'll actually find like Twitch chats are actually pretty nice for the most part. Even in big ones, they all sort of, you know, each streamer has their own like memes or jokes, and they all join in on the inside jokes and stuff like that. So I was watching like even like Dr. K streams. They're like a fairly intelligent and supportive, you know, community, even though they're like a hive mind. I feel like, you know, they're dumb on their own, but once they combine into this hive mind of emote spamming papegas, they actually form some sort of intelligence that's actually somewhat nice occasionally. Sometimes you know, Twitch chat, sometimes it gives and sometimes it takes. It's just the way it goes.
One kappa alone is nothing, but a million kappas, now that can change the world.
But yeah, I think that's all we got to say on the advisory council. And I think that's a wrap for the podcast. We've been going for over 2 hours now. So, well, we did take a 10-minute break, so, you know, and we had the starting soon, so we're around 2 hours, you know, roughly. So, we'll wrap on up, and if you guys want to, I was about to say, do you want to give your socials, Tef, but
I do not exist.
He doesn't exist on the internet. If you want to find Tef, you know, come on over to my stream.
You come here.
Yeah. I feel like if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably, or, you know, Twitch, you probably know who I am. I could say anyway, but Zanrise on Twitch, Zanrise on YouTube, Real Zanrise on Instagram, and Zan Games on Twitter. You can check me out all over there. And we'll be doing this podcast a lot more. And then Ziff, if you want to go ahead and, you know, tell the people where you are, what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just I'm mainly streaming, although I am on a break at the moment. It's got a lot of stuff going on, but it is mainly just Ziflock everywhere, including Twitch. The only place it's different, I think it's on YouTube, it's Ziflock Gaming. That's the only difference. Otherwise, it's simple. Ziflock all over the place. And yeah, you can find the good old streams there.
Yeah, I mean, if you search Ziflock on YouTube, I'm sure you'll pop up. Either that or Ziploc bags, one of the two.
Yep.
Fine sign. But yeah, that I guess that's a wrap on the first ever of, I mean, I was going to say the podcast name, but the podcast name doesn't really fit into that sentence. But this podcast is an alpha, and the name may be subject to change. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is the first ever.
My life is an alpha.
True. I feel like
What? You said? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Strange.
Wake up. Wake up, sheep.
Take the red pill.
It's all a simulation. But yeah, I think that's it then. So we'll be doing this every Monday, and I assume Tef will be here.
Monday.
Yeah, we've got to do this every Monday. We got to actually think of topics every Monday.
I was thinking more about how you just keep adding me into various days throughout the week. Eventually, the entire week will just be my face on your channel.
I mean, that's the plan. I'm just going to use you as clickbait. That's
I'd ask for a course if I was you, Tef.
Just give some. It's not much.
He doesn't make any money.
Let's be honest. But yeah, I mean, I
so
don't know.
far, I've just given him money.
True. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to be joining us every week, Ziff. It'd be nice to have you on every week, but I feel like you're going to be busy as well, so We'll see.
I can make it pretty regular at the very least.
All right. Well, I think next week we are going to have on Zolt as well, which will be interesting. So I don't know if you'll be there for That's If, but if you're not, that's fine. We will have 3 people, hopefully. And yeah, we'll be talking about all sorts next week as well. Who knows what? We'll figure that out in the next week.
Maybe Mojang will change its name again.
Who knows? might want to, you know, Mojang Development Studios. Oh boy.
Ooh.
But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the first ever podcast, and hopefully everyone enjoyed this, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. Neither did I. I'm just suffering through this end right now. Just trying to end it and get it over with.
God's sake, wrap it up, man.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. And I am going to actually be streaming right after this. I'm going to be doing my usual indie game night that I missed yesterday, so we'll be going over a few indie games, seeing what that's like. But as for these two, I believe that's it. Well, you can catch them. Well, you'll catch Tef on my stream occasionally, and Ziff, you can catch him on his own things as well.
Occasionally.
you know, every other stream. But yeah, thanks for watching. And we'll wrap it there because I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on ranting until I end. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Adios.